Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Pick whatever you want. Welcome to the 13th C programming tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll see how to use the for loop. The for loop is the most used loop because of its compactness, its flexibility. So let's begin writing. As always, start with declaration of a variable int I. Let's just leave it like that for now, for the time being. I have the program of the while loop which we wrote in the last class to my right, to your right also. I'll write the program to implement the same functionality, that is printing out the numbers, so that you can see the differences and the similarities between them right away. So start the for loop, for followed by two curly braces and followed by two flower braces. In this flower braces, write the print statement printf %d\n, the new line character, and I, because I is similar to the count variable which we have used in the last tutorial. So until this part, the for and the while are similar. This is where it gets tricky and interesting. Unlike the while loop, here we have three parts in the for loop. The first part here, second, and the third part. Well, we write these are divided in three parts because we'll write three different expressions for the loop. So the first part is called the initialization part, because here we will initialize the count variable. The count variable is I here, so I'm initializing it to 0. And in between these two semicolons is what we call as the main condition part. This is where we check the condition, that is I less than 5, as similar to what we wrote in the while. And the final part is called the the looping part. Here is where we will increment the value of I. So the for loop works like this. First, the for loop goes to the initialization part. It takes out the initial value of I. Here it is 0, so put the value of 0 into I, and then goes into the condition part, checks the condition I is less than 5, so 0 is less than 5, so it is true. So then goes into the flat braces, then prints it, and then comes into the incrementation part, then increments it, and then goes back to check the condition again. So see, that is where it becomes compact and a bit frustrating sort for the beginners. So I'll try to explain it once again. First, it comes to the initialization part. The initialization part is executed only once. For the first and the final time, it is executed once, and then it goes to the condition, and then according to the condition, if it's true, enters into a loop. If it's not, then exits. And if it is, after it has printed out the value of I, then it goes into the incrementing part, and then goes into the condition again, and then loops it completely until the condition is false. So let's run this and see what happens. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly what we expected. And now here comes the flexibility of the for loop. We can completely take away this whole part, and I can just do the initialization right here and leave this initialization part completely blank. It still works fine. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now if I want to take away even this part, this incrementation, and I can do that in the body of the loop itself. So I'm leaving out two parts, the initialization part and the incrementing part, empty, and it still works. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where the flexibility of the for loop comes in. And one more thing with this for loops, we can print out many patterns, if you will, with this for loop, with nested for loops, one for loop inside another. And in fact I'll do a tutorial for that maybe after the next one, because the next one will be on the do while loop. So after the do while loop I'll do a tutorial on how to print patterns using for loop, actually using nested for loops. So that's it for this tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial while learning the for loop. Code this a couple of times and you will be a pro in using the for loop. See you in the next tutorial, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.